Greetings from St. Perpetua Community. Now that we've entered the third month of social distancing and sheltering in place that began on March 15th, people I speak to are at very different places. Some folks have gotten into a routine and seem to be weathering this unusual situation okay. Others are having a difficult time adjusting, feeling constantly out of sorts, unable to find focus or grounding. Most families are busy juggling their kids' activities and long distance learning, trying to keep their spirits up for their families, working from home as best they can. Some people have found new hobbies, and others of us are binge watching Netflix series and movies we missed when they first came out. There's no doubt that all of us are impacted by circumstances we could never have imagined and are trying to cope the best we can. For all of our little irritations, our daily inconveniences, and minor impositions, nothing can compare to the loss of life suffered by tens of thousands globally, the sorrowful burden of families who carry the weight of the death of their loved ones, and the frantic struggle of those, especially the medical professionals hailed as heroes, who are fighting to preserve the lives of those who are sick. You may remember the famous phrase from a poem by John Donne, expressing an expansive compassion and a universal awareness of our connection with all people, a truth that reflects the mind of God and the heart of Christ. He wrote, "All mankind is of one author and is one volume. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee." Remembering this will help us to keep grounded, especially when our patience wanes and our nerves get frayed, if we take in the wider perspective of all that is happening. Last week I used the German word Weltschmerz to describe our current crisis. It translates as the pain of the world. A parishioner reminded me of another German word which is descriptive, Weltanschauung, which means a worldview or a world outlook. When we get so caught up in our own concerns, we lose sight of the bigger picture. When that happens, our Weltanschauung, or perspective on the world, shrinks and prevents us from seeing the very reality of the pandemic which brought us to this difficult place. Our faith calls us to recognize that we are all part of the fabric that makes up the quilt of the human family. These days I look for wisdom and insight wherever I can find it, and I found a piece of that wisdom in the expansive vision of Mr. Rogers, who wrote, "At the center of the universe is a loving heart that continues to beat and that wants the best for every person. Anything we can do to help foster the intellect and spirit and emotional growth of our fellow human beings, that is our job. Those of us who have this particular vision must continue against all odds." Let's hope that the impact of this pandemic will not prevent us from holding on to that wider vision of the world and our role in it.